Welcome to the next edition of the Nifty Scrapbooker today. What we are going to do today is we're going to finish up our three-part series on scrapbooking children. And today we're scrapbooking girls, specifically my daughter. So kick back and relax, and we're going to learn some great things here today. We're going to learn about how to use punches. We're going to learn how to properly use a Xyron machine. And we're going to be learning how to sew paper. So enjoy this episode. Well, today we're going to be scrapbooking, and I didn't want to do the typical, girly pink, purple, kind of page. So what I did is I pulled out a light green paper, and I found this wonderful striped paper that I fell in love with. If you look at it closely, it has the light green in it, some teals, some darker teals in it, and I really wanted to accent this. So what I did is I laid my template. This is the Large Bracket Series by Kiwi Lane, and what I did is I just moved it up on the paper to make a larger bracket. See, I went in about 1 inch on the paper and then put my line down there and cut it out. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be using the Bracket Series. I also picked out this paper. Isn't this paper wonderful? It has some deer and some flowers and some birds and rabbits and owls and butterflies and everything else on it. But what we're going to be doing, even though this is the left-hand page, we're going to be doing a center piece of the two pages. So all the design paper is going to be in the center of the double page spread. So to do that, you come in from, like on the left-hand page, you'll put everything on the right, and on the right-hand page, you'll put everything to the left. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and tape this down. Now, traditionally you've seen me tape, and I put lots of tape all around the paper. But with this paper, we're going to just tape the bottom of it, okay? All right, and we're going to lay this here. And the reason for that is we're going to be doing some tucking of some other paper underneath this paper. So we'll need that, and we'll just get that lined up on the other one. Now the other one, we're not going to tuck anything under it. We want it to be shown. So I'm going to do some more glue on this so it's down real good. We're going to be putting it right here on top of this other one. As you see, I've already edged it with the Distress ink. Now this Distress ink is actually a green or a teal. It's called, it's from Tim Holtz, and it's the Distress ink, and it's peacock feathers. So that's what I've distressed all my paper in today. Now what we're going to do is a third print with another kind of geometric floral, is we're going to be tucking this underneath this piece of paper. See, I'm going underneath, and that's why I didn't glue that side. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put some tape on this. Now what I've done is I've cut this out specifically to meet these triangles. So I'm going to put that about right there to have that point meet to that next triangle there. And there goes the paper. So there's our center medallion left-hand side. Now, I got a new cutter, and I'll be doing this in a later episode, but I got this cutter the other day at AC Moore that was just fantastic. And what the cutter does is it's just a hand cutter that will cut out all these letters. So what we're going to do with doing these letters is we're going to be putting these at the bottom of our paper. So we have our grins. And then I cut out an and sign. We'll put an and sign there. And our other page is going to say giggles. So our title of our page is Grins and Giggles. So I'm going to go ahead and put some tape on these letters to get those down. This is a nice wide letter. So, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting it along the bottom. And when I mean on the bottom, I mean right on the edge of the sheet. So I'm going to come in about 1/4 inch and start my lettering. All right. Now I've edged these too. It's a little difficult to edge letters, but I got them edged nonetheless. So we're just going to write that, and you're going to act like your bottom line is actually the bottom of the paper. So next episode, I'll be doing some more of these letters and showing you how to use that machine. It's fantastic. Doesn't take hardly any time at all. I know some of you have Cricuts, and I use my Cricut much too. but sometimes I just want a different kind of look, and these bold letters here, I really like the size of them and how they make a great title for a page. Now traditionally you would put title pages at the top, but you know, you can also put them down the side, you can put them in the middle. This is what I'm doing on the bottom. There's our grins. Get it taped down. And let's get our and sign locked down here. So we have our grins and our other page will say giggles. So we're going to leave a little extra space in between to kind of showcase the difference between the words. That'll give it a little break because my giggles is right up close to the page on the other page. So there's our grins and giggles. Now one of the things I wanted to do in this episode was show you how to use punches. So we're going to be using punches to do these little butterflies. I found this awesome butterfly on clearance, believe it or not. For 10 bucks, it's the Martha Stewart punch. This does a butterfly. But what it does is it cuts out a solid butterfly and the cutout butterfly. So you can use these as accents in your pages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually get a piece of the darker teal, like this here, right here, having on the setting 1, and I'm going to put my paper in here, and we're going to cut out a butterfly. Alright, now this will go down just once. And there we got our butterfly. Isn't that great? Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our other sheet of paper here. It's a lighter teal. We're going to move this to setting 2. We're going to throw in our paper. Make sure it's centered up. Now this will click down twice. And what that will do is that will create this cutout of this butterfly. See, we go? There we go. Now, a lot of times people have problems, and I've seen people use liquid, adhesive, or try to use a tape runner, clear tape runner on something like this. But when you have delicate things like this, the best thing I found to use is to use a Xyron. So what we're going to do is we're going to run these butterflies. I've cut these 2 out in the light and dark. I've done another light here with one of our pattern papers that I have there. So that will be placed on that pattern. Then I got our good old stripe paper that we had back there and made the back of that one with the darker on it. So I'll end up having 3 butterflies of this type. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring out our Xyron machine. And the way the Xyron works is I'm going to just take the intricate parts, because we can use a tape runner on the more difficult parts. We're just going to put this in the Xyron. Now my Xyron's an old Xyron. It's a Xyron model 510, but they all work about the same. And let's see, get this other. There we go. And we're just going to cut that off. And with the Xyron, you peel off the top part. That's the sticky part. And then we have our 3 butterflies here. So we're going to put our Xyron away. We have our 3 different pieces here. We have a light one on the dark. Pull that off. And see, that just pulls that off right off there. And you can stick that right on there, and no one's ever going to know you put all that adhesive on there. We're going to take a dark one, I think, for the next one. We lay that on there. You want to line it up good, because when this is permanent adhesive. It's going to go on there quick, and it's going to go on there tight. So there, see, we have it there. It's just on this roll of paper here, and we can throw that away. We have our 3 little stickers already made. So that's a good way to do, especially if you're using the Cricut, and the newer Cricuts do all those intricate designs. You'll want to do something like this. Use a Xyron to get those stickers down. Now we're gonna put those on in just a second. We got our pictures here. My daughter grinning, these big grin smiles and stuff. Okay, so we're gonna take our paper. There's the contrasting paper. And we're going to be going ahead and putting these pictures on that paper. So we'll just use our acid-free tape runner. Put some tape on there. Now this one I did the smaller. You notice the last one I think I did double matting, but we're just using single matting on this one. There's our first picture. I'm just using single matting on this. Now on our text box we're going to be doing a lot of cool things with that. So we'll be doing some double matting with the journaling box. There we go. Now what I decided to do is kind of put this up in the design like that, and then we're going to fill in our butterflies down and around here and have our journaling box down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our larger photograph, and we're going to be putting it about a ½ good ½ inch in from the, or maybe we'll go 3/4 of an inch. There we go. I think we have still room for our journaling blocks. There we go. I'm going to bring this other one down and put some tape on it. And what we're going to do is kind of line that up with the other one and overlap on this pattern paper. Don't be scared to cover up your pattern paper because it's going to show through other places. See, we have our paper. It just makes it look a nice layered look there. Alright, there we got our photographs. Now what we're going to do is, I always like to do things in rules of 3. So the rule of 3 is you put things in 3, 5, 7, 9 in odd groups. So what we're going to do is we cut out 3 butterflies. I'm going to be putting one right up here. Right like that. This is going to make it look girly with all that color pattern paper in this. And then I'm going to put these once we get our journaling box on. And then I have some little butterflies here that we're going to put on there too. Now, some of you have been wondering how to sew. You've seen these special sewing machines for paper, but I actually like to do it the old-fashioned way, and just by hand. And what have I done is I already started my journaling box. Now the key to doing a journaling box and doing the sewing around it is always get your journaling box first. I went ahead and edged mine, and then I put my print already on it. I already wrote on my journaling box. Then if you make a mistake, all you have to do is re-edge the paper and mark it down again. Do not do the sewing first, because if you end up making a mistake, then you end up having to re-sew another piece of paper. So what I've done is I got these are paper needles for making memories. I got the set years ago, and it came with scrapbook stitches, and as you see, one of the scrapbook stitches is teal, so I'm doing a teal page, so that worked out perfectly. And then it came with let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 needles. I use the middle one. They do have a sharp point, so you need to be careful. But what that enables you to do is, what I did is I went through the paper, around the paper, and I pre-punched holes in the paper. Then I threaded my needle, and I'm just going to do this the old-fashioned way. Up one of them, one of the punched holes, and down the next. Now when you come to the end, as you see, there's the last hole, and the string is on top. So simply what you do is you take this and go down your very first hole you came up. What that does is it puts both of your threads on the back, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this a little. This is a little long. You want a little edge. What I did is, when you pull the thread out to measure it, what I did is I went around, brought the thread around the page to see how much thread I needed, and then I added about 6 inches onto that. What that enables you to do is actually get your thread all the way around and be able to have extra to kind of to tape it off. So what I've done here is I've gotten the dark teal again. I've gotten this pattern paper here with the geometric florals. We're going to back that. And we're going to put that on there where I did 1/8 of an inch double border. And there's that. And see, that's going to slide in right there. See how that just fits right in there like a glove? Okay. So that's where we're going to put this journaling box. Alrighty. We are going to put a little adhesive on here to hold down our threads. We don't want those popping back up. So I put a little adhesive on there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some pop dots. Because the fabric is kind of thick, it's hard to be able to put this right on the paper because it kind of bumps up. So I thought, well, why don't we make it even more accentuated and do pop dots on it? So we're going to pull these stickers off here, paper off the stickers, and we're going to put this on our journaling box. Now remember, everybody needs to journal, because when you hand this down to your kids in the future, they'll go, oh, I wish I remembered, what was I doing here? What was this page about? You know? So your title and your journaling boxes are going to make your paper stand out. So here we're going to put some more adhesive on here, on this back of this, and there we have our journaling box, and we've sewn it. So that's going to look cute right there. Now come the stickers that we made, and we're going to put adhesive on those. I'm going to tuck one under here, underneath that pop dot, and we're going to put another one of these right under this one. There we go. Look at that. Looks like it's flying right out of the paper. Isn't that cute? And then I have these little guys. I'm going to put a little adhesive on them. Now remember, the rules of 3. So as you notice, I have 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Get a little adhesive on that. I'm going to tilt this one the other way on our page. Tilt that one that way. There we have our 5 there. Got a little adhesive on there. We're going to stick one right over here on this corner. There we go. There's our grins. And got the second page done for us. Griddle, giggles, grins and giggles. There's our 2-page layout today. Remember, we discussed our punches, the Martha Stewart punch, double punch, that had the 2 sections on it. Love that punch. We learned how to do our Xyron machine, so it's simply you just feed it right into the front, roll it, and pull it out the back. So that's really simple to do. And we taught you how to sew with a sewing needle. Just like that. Add some stitches to your layout. So there we go, our grins and giggles layout for this week. Look out next week for another layout from the Nifty Scrapbooker.